Sammy BE, Luisa L, Donald Sterling. This is the Cast Podcast. And, we got a special guest. I've been actually trying to reach out to our guest for a while. And I was able to get in contact with her because, she's kind of like an extravagant YouTube star. John and I were speaking earlier. John and I were speaking earlier, and he said, "Yo, I can kind of see it being like the female academic." And I said, "What?" I was like, "Academic," you know what I mean? So, the person that I have today is a YouTube acclaimed. She definitely gets the YouTube badge. She comes with different news content. She's definitely a content creator. Someone that I like to see some of her, I shouldn't say some, but I like to see a lot of her news worthiness, in the entertainment, sports fields, media field. She brings a lot of energy as well as a lot of resources to YouTube. And I wanted to kind of talk to her about, because, we are a show that focuses on social media, entertainment, gossip, trending topics, just different things, different sources. And YouTube plays a big role in social media as far as messaging, communication, and just people adhering to different entertainment, newsworthiness, if that makes sense. And, I have a special guest. You guys out there may already know her. She's big on the YouTube thing. I have Nique at Nite. Can I get a one time soul clap for Nique at Nite? What's up?
And thank you for that extravagant introduction. I mean, I don't know if I live up to the hype that much, but thank you guys for having me. It's a pleasure to talk to you guys and be Definitely. On your podcast. Definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were saying something?
Oh, no, I was just going to ask her straight away. How long ago did you start? Because I see that on YouTube, you have over 165 or 164,000 subscribers, which is super impressive. How long did it take you to reach that many subscribers? And how consistently were you putting out material every week? Because I saw a lot of your videos and they're really awesome. Like, it's really entertaining, your voice, the way that you accent what it is that you're talking about. So how did you find your groove, and what were your beginning steps?
Okay, so I first got my start on YouTube, I want to say in 2008, but I didn't stay on the platform for consistently that long time. I was on there for 2008, 2009, and I did celebrity news and gossip at that time, and I did it for about a year, and then for about 8 years or more, I was off of the platform. So I didn't come back to YouTube until I want to say either 2016 or 17, one of those. Whichever year All Eyes on Me came out, if it was 2016 or 2017. And when I came back on the platform, a lot of my subscribers had left because...
You're talking about All Eyes on Me. All Eyes on Me, the movie, right? We're not talking about the album, people.
No, the movie.
The movie.
The All Eyes on Me movie is when I came back on the platform because I wanted to get back into it. And when I came back to my YouTube channel, I used the same channel, but most of my subscribers had been gone. I had I want to say 400 left, and I don't even know if they were even active or not. So from the span of, I guess, is that 2016 that it came out to, I want to say 2018 is where I grew most of my following. So from 2016 to 2018 is where I grew most of my, and from there, but both of it came within 2 years. So it took 2 years to grow the majority of my audience.
So how often were you putting out content in those 2 years that helped you to gain the traction?
I was putting out content constantly. So basically what happened is I had a friend who worked at a blog on Instagram, and they wanted to have a spokesperson. So I'm like, hey, I want to get my feet wet. I want to get back out there because I had became a mom and I had stopped doing industry stuff. And so I did the premiere of All Eyes on Me, the red carpet. And so I interviewed the celebrities there, and I interviewed the cast and things like that. And I watched the movie. And from watching the movie, I seen how they left out certain things. So that was like my big staple back onto the platform. And I did basically an All Eyes on Me movie review. And I'm like, hey, he had a wife, he had this, he had that. Why didn't they include it? And then I educated a lot of people on a lot of aspects of Tupac's life that they did not know about. And so that video kind of, it shot up and it kind of like went somewhat viral. And then right after that, Rob Kardashian and Blac Chyna had, you know, they got into it. So it's like I dropped the All Eyes on Me movie review. That had went up like 100,000, 200,000 views within like a few days. And then, and then right after that, like a couple days later, Rob Kardashian was putting Blac Chyna's business all over social media. And immediately I was screenshotting, like getting all the info, all the tea. And his Instagram page got deleted. So everybody starts to hear about like what happened to Rob and Chyna, but nobody could go to his Instagram to see what he put up. So I immediately put a video and I described everything that he did, said everything he did. And that video also kind of like went viral. And that video had shot up to like 600,000 like real fast, you know? And so from there, I'm like, okay, well, you know, people like to get things described to them. So I stayed consistent and I would drop. At first, I started off, I'm like, I want to drop at least 2 videos a week. Then I'm like, nah, people, you know, they want more consistency than that. So I would drop like, you know, try to do from there. I went to dropping almost every day. I would drop a video.
Oh, wow. So how long does it take you to edit and, you know, do the research to get all the information? I mean, like that takes a long time.
Yeah, it does. It just depends on the topic. Like you have some topics where there's all these receipts where it's like, okay, this person posted an Instagram post, this person posted a Twitter, and this person clapped back here. So those types of videos take longer. But then some stuff like Tyrese, he just had his whole, all you had to do was, you know, he had his whole little rant in one video to where all you do is commentary on that and it doesn't really take as long. So it just depends on the depth of how many receipts you're including. Sometimes you can describe what's going on without even taking a lot of time to do it. So it just each video is
right.
No, I've gotten a lot, you know, for this interview, you know, people reached out to me and a lot of people asked me like, you know, how does Nique, you know, they like your commentary, but there's like thousands of people that do commentary, and there's this like whole notion that she must know how to what is someone I know, she said Nique seems to know how to manage the algorithms. I mean, do you believe in stuff like that? Like when people are like, yo, you're some type of computer genius, and you know, the people who get lit on YouTube are the ones that know how to, you know, kind of F up the algorithms and all that. What do you think about those type of stereotypes and those type of I guess conspiracy theories, as I put it? You know, are they valid? You know?
I feel like there are people who know how to do like what is it called, like SEO and stuff like that. I just put in tags. It's all about timing. Like if you put up a video on a topic that people want to hear about, then people are searching for it. So like if everybody is like talking about the All Eyes on Me movie, if you immediately put something up, then it's going to be searchable. So once you figure out the timing of it, I think that's kind of what it is. And then once you build the rapport, then people are kind of looking for your videos or whatever. But a lot of it is YouTube. YouTube picks and chooses the channels that they want to favor at the time. Like at one point, it's like, okay, people are really messing with this person, so let me recommend them more. YouTube is the one that picks and chooses. Like right now, my videos, the videos that I do are not even getting the views that it should, because they pick and choose. Like you'll see one person come out of nowhere and you're like, dang, they like, what's so special about their content? And it's really YouTube picking and choosing who they want to mess with at the time, honestly.
But see, people have said that I mean, YouTube has denied that they have anything to do with that. That's, I guess, that's part of with the algorithms, because
the algorithm,
you know, the people that are.
It's YouTube. A lot of it is recommendation. Like the majority of our traffic source is recommendation. So if you look, any YouTuber looks in their back office, it tells you exactly how much percentage was recommended from people being recommended your video, how many people naturally went to your channel because they were subscribed to it, and how many people were text your video or share your video in some sort of way. It breaks it down, and the majority of
that's awesome.
our traffic is from recommendations. So
now let me I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's with also like the timing and recommendations. So if say when, okay, I'll just pull something out of nowhere. Okay, so Future, what was it? Not Future. What's his name? Offset. Offset, I guess his studio had got shot up one time or whatever, right? And just put a random thing out. You know, and people are like, dang, what happened with Offset? You know, if you drop a video right when
and then, you know, I have someone edit it, you know, it might not be right then and there that everything is going to be, you know, so is it someone who has to be kind of savvy on the editing side, clip, or how does that really work? You know,
if you are taking time to put, like when I don't put out a story right when it happens, that hurts my channel, because you have an oversaturated market. You have everybody who wants to be a YouTuber, and once people, you have your core audience who want to hear your perspective, but majority of the people just want to know what happened. So if they find out what happened already, then, and you put something up and say your podcast is tailored to a certain event, then they might miss out because they're like, well, I already know what happened. I don't need to, you know what I'm saying? But you will have your core base who is like, no, I want to hear from them specifically, their thoughts on it. But the majority of the people, they just want the news. They want to know what happened so they could be up. You know, people feel like they want to be up on information. You know, like, oh, I already know that happened. Or, you know, I'll get that sometimes like, oh, I already heard that already. You know, so people just kind of want to, you know.
I know. It's really hard to like, so that being said, is there something that you've noticed that you do personally that has helped to keep traffic to your channel? Like something you've just, I don't know, developed, or something maybe like in your personality that you feel that a lot of people gravitate?
I don't think that I've done anything specifically. I feel like I just constantly just put up content. Like, you know, I keep in contact with my subscribers. My subscribers who like my personality, and I'll have like Saturday night lives where it's only for my subscribers to be personal with me. We laugh, we talk, you know, I build relationships with a lot of my subscribers. So you kind of have to build relationships with your audience. That's important.
That's actually good advice. I didn't think about that you could like stream live and have people almost like in a group chat conversation of what's going on. So that's a really good piece of advice.
What do you think about?
What do you call in too? So I have this call-in number, so where they call in and like, you know, they tell each other's problems. You know, I have one who, you know, he has this on again, off again relationship with his wife, so he calls in and vents, and then my other subscribers will like counsel him, and then we all like talking. So it's like, you know, a big like community outside of celebrity news and gossip. It's important to build relationships with your subscribers, because those are the people who are always going to support you. You know, like they feel like, you know, like she's cool. Like we're like a community of our own. So that's important.
What do you think? What do you think about the whole notion of collabing? Do you think that's relevant, or is not really people in your genre? You know, like, you know, let's for example, CBS News collabing with NBC. Do you think that something like that would ever happen? You know, I'm saying on the YouTube, so there's a lot of, a lot of people say you need to collab with people, and what do you think about all that? Like, do you think it's necessary, or does it really help your brand, or, you know?
Collab really is very essential to YouTubers. It's not mandatory. It's not an absolute. You can make it without collabing, because I don't really collab with people. I just do my commentary. I stay in my own lane. But when your subscribers see, like, oh, this person shouted this person out or whatever, they're like, oh, the person that I like this person too. Oh, I'm gonna go over there. So it does help. Now, I've gotten people who have shared my content, who have big followings, and their followers will be like, oh, you mess with her, so I'm gonna mess with her too, type of thing, or whatever. I just know that you have to kind of have a balance, because there is people have these competitions, and I'm not in competition with nobody, but there are a lot of people who feel like, you know, I want you to do good, but just not better than me, type of thing. So
Yeah.
you have to be cautious of who you collab with, because a lot of the collabs, even though they are very beneficial, there are people who grow up in different walks of life. People didn't grow up with loyalty. People didn't grow up with, you know what I'm saying? People are just trying to climb the ladder. And you see people like, I don't know if you know, like the B-Loves. Are you familiar with the mukbang banger B-Loves?
Oh yeah, she do the food mukbang. Yeah, B-Love.
Yeah, so she created a formula. She didn't create mukbang, but she came in and she made it personal to herself, and it blew up, right? And so she decided, like, you know, I'm gonna do these collabs. So there was this other girl who followed everything that she did to a T. You know, everything. Like, oh, she did this type of video, I'm gonna do this type of video. She followed her concept, which was smart, because it's like that formula works. So, hey, you know, she followed a working formula. She then collabed with B-Love, and then once she felt like her platform was to a point where she did not need her, like, oh, I already used your platform, I already used you for the collab, I already used you for what I need you for, then she shit on her. It backfired, but that's the type of thing that you have to be cautious of with collabs, because people, they will use you to their benefit, but then they'll shit on you. So you kind of have to be cautious in, you know, who you collab with, even though they are beneficial.
But with the YouTube thing, I think it's a lot of people are using the same content, but I think adding their own twist. I mean, you have YouTubers that, you just gave an example like the mukbang. There's like thousands of YouTubers that do mukbangs of different food or different music, or story time, or what they call story time. That my niece and nephews. So it's like people are using the same type of content, but it just depends on the following that you have. Because you could do a mukbang, right, and they might get 100,000, but someone else who has a bigger following might do a mukbang, the same type of mukbang that you did, and might have 2 million followers, right? So how does that I think it depends on the type of person that's doing it because of the following, maybe. Because I see people who do the same.
It's not so much about your following. It's about people like people differently. Like, you have people who like the way that Jay-Z raps because he gives you a certain type of flow. And then you have people who like mumble rap. Mumble rap isn't for everybody. So it's the same with YouTubers. Some people like your delivery. Some people like your personality. When you went to school, there were certain people that it's like you clicked with right away. And then there were certain people at the school you're like, I don't really F with them that much. It's the same thing. So it's like people like certain personalities and they dislike other personalities. So it's not about like, because you can have somebody who does a mukbang for the first time today and they have a personality that you absolutely love and you immediately gravitate to them. It's just about likable personalities, who people like, who people prefer. But
is it still in the person's content though, to a degree? Because it's like, okay, you did it better than me, but I was the one who really did it. I started it first. And you can't really say that on YouTube because everybody's doing the same thing, right? I mean, how does that really work? You know what I mean? Where, I did this mukbang, you guys wouldn't even call it mukbang, but I'm not going to get the credit because I got Queen Nite or somebody else, Chris and Queen or whatever, you know what I mean, doing it better than my mukbang or something like that, for example,
Again, it's all about who people like. And I mean, execution plays a part. Like, if you have better quality, the better quality you have, the better it is for you, like for people to see. But then there are some people who like to come up. There's some people who are in college dorms and they like to see people who are on the same come up as them. Everybody is, you know, looking for something different. So I think that the best thing anybody to do, not watch so much what other people are doing and comparing it like, okay, this person did that and that person did that. What I do, I stay true to myself, and I think that trumps all, because people can tell like when you're being authentic or when you're, you know, when you try to pay too much attention to like what's happening around you, you kind of get lost because you're kind of constantly trying to change yourself to fit a different mode that you see. If you stay true to yourself, then it'll, if it's for you, it's for you. If it's not, then it won't be.
Oh, it sounds good. YouTube is your I call it like is your runaway platform. What I mean by that is, and this kind of gets into my question. You have other social medias that you have, but YouTube is the one that's giving you the most following, that's giving you, I guess, your brand recognition. Do you think it's still important for other people to focus on other social media, even though there might be one social media that's better than the other? Like mine is my Instagram. You know, I'm not at 100,000, but that's definitely my runaway social media. You know what I mean? So people be in tune to the runaway, you know, like I like to call the runaway social media platform, whether it's Snapchat or Twitter, the one that's really kind of gaining you, and kind of focus on that, or kind of still focus on everything evenly. What do you think on something like that?
For me, I'm a mom. I got other stuff that I'm doing, so I can't focus on everything equally. But if you can, it will be better for your brand. Like, if I could put the same amount of energy in my Instagram as I put into my YouTube, then both of them will be dominant. I'm one person. I run my own show, so I pay attention more to YouTube and cater to build one audience, because I'd rather be a master of one than have all and be a master of none. You get what I'm saying? So I pay attention to what I am good at, and then I try to also cater to my other social media. But if I could, I would. I mean, you have people who only use Instagram, but then they see that you have a YouTube, so like, oh, let me get a YouTube. I have YouTubers who only have YouTube who never have Instagram, but because I say, hey, I have an Instagram page and I post stuff on there that you may not see here, then I have people who actually have signed up and made an Instagram account because they mess with you that much. And they're like, well, I want to support them here too, because I don't want to miss out on what they're doing. So in a perfect world, you can balance them. If I could balance them better, it'd be better for me. But I can't give the same energy for all, but it does work out better for your brand if you're able to.
I see that you starting to, like, you know, I see that you are using your YouTube as a platform, because I see that you also are into sports. Like, is that something that you want to get into as well? I see like a lot of sports commentary and stuff like that you've done.
You probably got the wrong person. I'm not into sports.
No, I seen I think that was your Instagram. I think somebody was in the NFL. I seen a couple of different events on your Instagram. It might have been in your past, but you were like someone who just got into like the NFL, and then
that
you had like a sports party.
That's like a family friend who got drafted. So my mom's best friend, his son got drafted to the NFL. So that's somebody who, like, you know, we kind of like were raised together. So I interviewed him, but I'm not quote unquote into sports. But that was like me bigging him up on his accomplishment, because I knew him personally, but not like I want to be a sports commentator or anything like that.
Oh, okay. Because I thought, so those were the same events, because I seen that picture, then I seen you were like at some type of sports event, and so I was like, maybe you were trying to do that, you know what I mean, kind of play your hand.
I did interview Dan Cormier with a blue fighter, but that was just me like getting a gig to go on the red carpet, and I did it. But it's not like I'm not a sports buff at all, so I couldn't tell you how to make a touchdown. I couldn't tell you. I don't know, but I can interview you and say, hey, how did you get into it? How did you get started? How do you like it? You know, I can interview anybody, I feel like.
Right. Mm-hmm. Was is that something that you're trying to do too? Are you trying to do more like interviewing type stuff like that, or like interviewing commenting?
I just interview after. Yeah, I do that. It just depends on when I decide to go after the event. But yeah, that's something that, again, when I first got back on YouTube, I did the All Eyes on Me red carpet, and that was kind of what birthed my channel back to, doing that. I posted up interviews. It's not something that I do every single week. That's not where my traffic comes from. Honestly, people are more interested in what the latest drama is. So that's something that I like to do, but it's not main focus. So I do it here and there. So that is a part of my brand. Like, that's always going to be a part of it. So it's not like, I'm suddenly trying to do it here or there or more or less. It's just whenever I get around to it.
Mm-hmm. So let me just ask one question, Louis, real quick, and then you go. So you wouldn't branch out to like what an academic does or what Joe Buttons are doing, like with the different platforms. That's not something you would
do a podcast. Do. For sure, I would do that.
No. Yeah. Oh, you would do a podcast. You would do like some type of I guess analytical show like with academics. He has his YouTube. That's where he blew up from. But then he does like everyday struggle with Complex. You know what I mean? You wouldn't.
Yeah, that's still along the lines of the same thing. It's just in a structured show. There are some YouTubers who do what I do, and they have like a weekly structured show like that. So I mean, it's still along the lines of what that you're doing now, because he's giving commentary still, whether it's in the
Complex is owned by Verizon, though. That's a corporate structure.
Yeah, but he's still getting a check for doing the same. Still doing the same thing. He's still giving commentary on events like celebrity news and stuff like that.
Right, but that's why I'm asking you. I'm saying, would you want like a bigger company financing you? Like if they say, Nique, we want you to be a part of this group, where it's like different commentators, like Shade Room and B Scott or something like that. Would you be a part of something where you have a bigger platform?
It just depends. It depends on if it's right for me. Like, I would look at it and be like, am I a fit for this? Am I not? Is it beneficial? Am I getting more money than I already make on my own? Like, there's a lot of factors. So I can't just say, oh yeah, I totally sign me up. Like, it's a lot of factors that it would depend. But I view it as the same. It's just a different structure, but you're still doing commentary, and it's just a structured show.
Go ahead, Louise. Would you?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, for those people who may be thinking about starting their own YouTube channel, or maybe perhaps even have it, but they're not sure. At what point do you actually start seeing monetary gain from doing your videos? Like, I don't know the specifics of it, but is there like a certain number of subscribers you need to attain, or certain number of like hours watched? Like, how does that work exactly for it to be like actually beneficial to you?
Honestly, YouTube changes. So the faster you do it, the better. When I came on YouTube, there was no, you have to have a certain amount of hours watched, but now there is. But if you don't get started now, it could be something different later. So right now you have to have, I believe, 1,000 subscribers and then 4,000 hours watched. But if you don't get started now, they might change it tomorrow. You never know. YouTube changes their requirements all the time. So you just have to like look at what the current requirement is, because they're constantly changing stuff. Like, I see stuff in my back office where they're changing this, changing that. They're changing stuff like every single day.
Upsetting.
No, I mean, actually, it's not. I would say it's just. I guess that's just how the environment goes. I wouldn't say it's upsetting. It's just something that you have to kind of cater to. They set the rules and the guidelines.
The faster you get started, the better, though.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, Luis, you have any other questions that you wanted to ask me?
No. I mean, Your content is really good. Like I said, I love like just hearing you talk about what you do. I think you have a real like knack for it, and it's really like fluid. So I could, I could see why you have the followers that you do. So great job. I look forward to seeing more of your content.
Thank you so much.
All right. Nique at Nite, you know what I mean? Can I get a one time super superb content creator, entertainment news reporter, YouTube, extravaganza. I don't know if you know that's a word or not, but we're still gonna use it. And we'd like to thank Nique at Nite for coming. Now you like to use your name Nique Laclaire, or you just Nique at Nite is good for people to just kind of call you.
Yes. Where can I find you?
Nique at Nite is my main channel that I just shout out, and then if they are a loyal sub or interested, then then they can branch off to my other channels. But my main channel is Nique at Nite. That's the one that I promote mostly.
Gotcha.
Awesome.
All right, Nique at Nite, come another one time, Nique at Nite. All right, another episode in the can, man. Luis, what you think?
Woo, thanks so much for coming on.
All right, thank and then send me. I don't even know where I can view it, so send me a link.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Say it again.
I said I don't know where I could view it, so send me a link or something.
Oh yeah. When everything is done, when we get the editing done, we'll edit it up. We got some stuff for you, man. We'll definitely send you. I'll put it on different platforms, and then you'll see it out and you'll check it out. You'll definitely blast it. But we'd like to thank you for coming. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I know we cut into your time. You're very busy, so sorry about that. But thank you for utilizing that time for interviewing us. I mean, for us interviewing you. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Later.
Thanks.
Monumental episode 10. Oh man, where y'all been at, man? John Dunn, Luisa L, Maxim cover girl model.
Oh man,
what's going on, guys?
I don't even want to talk about this competition. Is so wild right now.
We gotta talk about it. And then the next show would be the one that when you actually win the whole event. So
you know what? I'm gonna say this. So I'm gonna just drop the tea straight off the bat right away. So this competition, has turned into a money game, and and what I mean by that is the girl with the most money, the girl with the most sugar daddies, the girl who's willing to spend it all is really going to be the one to win this. So throughout the preliminaries,
Luis. That's the entertainment business. Why they're still talking?
Well, but I'm just saying that that's. I know it's unfortunate too because in the preliminary, so I made it into the quarterfinals. But before doing that, I was in first place, pretty much on my own merit the whole time. So the whole time I was in first place for my group before having been admitted to the quarterfinals. And then when I got into the quarterfinals, it's just, oh my God, yeah, like I give such a huge thank you to everybody who supported me. Like, it's really true that you have to, really DM back your followers when they message you, really build that rapport, get them on your side and on your team, because that's the only way that they're going to feel invested enough in you as opposed to like anyone else out there who has even bigger following to stand behind you. So I did everything right. I got myself into the quarterfinals. I even made it to being first in the quarterfinals until they opened up the voting where you can donate to the charity. Now, here's the thing about the competition, I will say. Maxim and
I donated. I donated.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? So Maxim magazine partnered with a charity, the Wounded Warrior Foundation. A part of the proceeds go to the charity. It's not the full 100% of whatever everybody's donating. So that being said, they do incentivize people to donate for the model, on behalf of the model, by saying that at certain time periods throughout the round of, throughout each round, the votes are going to be 2 for 1. So $1 equals a vote, but during this time period, which could be like for the next 30 hours, say, votes are going to be 2 for 1. So you'll get 2 votes for every dollar spent, kind of thing. And so people take advantage of that and they buy their way literally into first place. So I'm at a point where I can say that my following is strong and it's decent, but it's not massive to the point where I have 500,000 people, you know, really invested in me and willing to help me through to the final rounds. And so at that point, it becomes a money game. And literally, whichever girl has the most money to spend is going to buy their way into first place for each round. And
yeah, but it could also be,
you know,
it could also be the social media following too. They might have like hundreds of thousands of people behind them,
but you know what?
You know what I mean?
From what I see, because when I look at the group, yeah, I mean, that's also true. But, okay, so I had my brother actually was looking at this one girl because they were staking, him and his girlfriend were staking out the competition. And this one girl, she's like a Twitch girl, right? So she's on Twitch and she games or whatever. And on her social media, I think she had like 500,000 followers or something crazy, but she lost in the preliminary rounds because I guess she thought that she could just like, you know, be in the competition and not promote it. And so she didn't even make it to the finals. So it's really not about how much of a following you have as much as it is about who's willing to be there for you, die hard, and like, you know, and support you throughout everything that you're doing.
Wait, so she's a Twitch gamer and
whoever
she has 500,000 followers?
And she didn't make it to the finals.
Okay, Twitch gaming is popular. I'm just shocked that how come she's not.
Yeah, what?
Yeah,
are you kidding me? Of course.
Twitch game. So for her to have 500,000 followers, she's just not marketing and promoting herself right.
Right.
She's not doing it right because for her to have that, she should be taking off with that brand, you know. And her being a female in gaming, like dudes want to see that. You know what I'm saying? Dudes want to see that. So she's definitely not. She needs a whole marketing redo or something. I don't know, but like she's just not utilizing it right. But then again, it could have just been like an FU, like she didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? But if you have 500,000 on Twitch, that's your runaway platform. That's your runaway platform.
But you know what? So, I mean, it is what it is for her. But the point of all this is just to say that I'm right now, because of voting and it being opened up to like the 2-for-1 and all that, which happened twice since this round started. I'm now in 4th place. I managed to like remain in 2nd, then I faltered to 3rd. And it's just like, you know what? I'm at a point where I'm almost like I've given up on it really, because I'm just not going to sit there on social media and continue to, I don't want people to, I mean, everybody who did donate, you know, obviously the money is going to the right place. But that being said, I don't want people to continuously put up money and vote for me when at the end of the day, like, you know, there's whoever's the next girl is going to put up thousands. And it's really unfair, honestly. And so I'm hoping that what I can do is just leverage the opportunity by saying that, okay, I'm a quarterfinalist in the Maxim magazine competition and just kind of like see if I could network to like get into the party. And once I'm in the party, then I can network there, and that's where you make the real connections. Because at the end of the day, it's cool to win the cover, but you know.
No. You definitely are gonna have to do the Maxim Cover Girl quarterfinalist. Like you make flyers, you know, you have
I mean, I would
like that. You're gonna leverage that, and then you're gonna put that in your story. I mean, in your bio, like all your bios,
right?
As a Maxim Cover Girl quarterfinalist, you know. And whatever, you know what I'm saying? Use that as your brand.
That's all I could do, really.
You know, but yeah, I mean, use it to your advantage, you know, and you know, I'm still gonna keep voting.
Thank you.
Just like every 9 hours,
I mean, like,
vote and stuff. I play money and shit.
Yeah, like the votes, like you know, like it does help. And I don't know. I mean, it just sucks. It's a little disheartening because I know that I could probably win this because of the support that I have. If it wasn't a money thing, you know, because I was in first place pretty much the entire time.
Right.
So anyway, that's just the update.
It's a lesson learned, but it's always going to be a money thing. Don't ever. That's the biggest lesson. It's always in anything, in entertainment, in anything, because nobody wants to do anything for free. That's, you know what I'm saying? No one, not even love. Love is not even free. I mean, you have people who've been together for 50, 60 years, and all of a sudden just tear them apart. Money tears them people apart, man, and it's always going to be a money thing, man. Root of all evil, and it's real. Anyway, yeah, I mean, so we're talking to the Maxim Cover Girl finalist, Luisa L. And all right. So what else? What's happening? Yeah, we do this podcast. Like so much stuff is happening. Oh, the Yankees lost, man. They out of here.
Again?
They out of here. They lost yesterday. They lost to the Houston Astros.
Where are we at?
No, they would have made it to the World Series if they won.
If they had won. Oh wait,
they got eliminated.
I thought
they got eliminated. They were also.
Wow. So yesterday.
They were also in the semifinals facing.
Yeah, right. And then they lost.
Yeah, and they lost.
But wait a second. So Game 7 was yesterday.
6. They didn't even go to. There was only 6 in the Astros.
Oh wow!
They were down 3-2. They were down 3-2, and yesterday was the elimination game in Houston. They're out.
Wow!
When you were in the Bronx, when you went home in the Bronx, didn't you see everybody's head down? Come on, Louise.
I know.
Louise doing it wrong. You see everybody's head down. Nobody's talking. Everybody's quiet. The rowdy Bronx. Everybody's quiet. The Bronx Bombers. Oh. Everybody was quiet on your way. Yeah, they're out. So
all assholes. What do they do all year? Train for nothing.
Yeah, it's out the window because I always tell people, listen, that's great that you win all these games and all that. Fuck that, man. If you can't do your thing in the playoffs and you can't have that championship, just do something else. Go home and read or something. I don't know.
That does suck.
Not for you. Yeah, but. It is what it is. So life moves on, and
fuck the Astros. Just because the Yankees lost, I'm not gonna support them.
I'm sure people in Houston. People in Houston are not gonna like that.
Well.
So
hit me up in the DM.
No, I'm about to say Houston. You need me for doing some type of comedy show, some type of hosting. I didn't say it. Louis said it. Houston's a big city. I'm definitely not saying that. All right, but what else? What else is going on, man? I mean, a lot of stuff going on in the news, man. Politically, Jane Fonda, man, getting arrested. Have you heard that she got arrested again?
Jane Fonda?
Yeah, she's like this political activist. The bombing, bomb-looking 70s actress. Looked great. We used to be married to Ted Turner back in the day.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, she's been doing a lot of activism, like political activism. She
actively getting arrested?
Twice. Yeah, actively getting arrested.
Oh my God.
She's an icon. She's an actress, actor icon. Today I read this. What's her name? She just slipped my head now. Oh shoot! We got to come back to her because she just flipped my head.
What are you talking about?
The singer. What's the singer? She's had drug problems, and then she's like her nude pictures had just got leaked.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There.
But you know what?
She just was in rehab. Like, she overdosed and then she came out of rehab.
Who's this?
Forgot her name. I'll come back. I'll circle around here and come back. Forget it.
Yeah,
we'll come back to her. What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? Yeah.
Wait. We mentioned political Jane Fonda. All right. Well, did you want to go into what it is about Jane Fonda? Because you didn't really say the article or anything.
Oh yeah, she's I guess she's on the Green New Deal bandwagon. So she's wants the government to take up the Green New Deal. Alexandria Ocasio, another representative from your part of the neck of the woods.
Oh man, every time people are like, oh yeah, Alexandria is from the Bronx. I'm like, listen, she was born in the Bronx and grew up in Westchester. She's from Westchester. So when she wants to sit there and play that card, I'm like, I just throw that shit all the way down because it's like, look, I'm actually born and raised in the Bronx for like 20. I stayed in the Bronx for 23 years. So like since birth. So I was like, listen, the way that she talks, she's not from the Bronx. She's definitely from Westchester.
Well, if you have a name like AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and you're from the Bronx, baby, that's what puts you in the Bronx. and no name like that. You can never be from Fort Lee, New Jersey with that type of name. I don't think. Yo,
Oh
John,
my God.
you're gonna put
But
like
speaking
a,
of,
you're gonna put a ding, like what do you call that shit? A gotcha moment right there. All right, like one of those, yeah, like drum roll, like one of those comedian type shits.
like a
Can't be
zinger.
from Fort Lee, New Jersey. Yeah, zinger, those zingers. Yeah, make sure you take a
Um,
note of that. Go ahead.
but I was gonna say, speaking of the Bronx, I have an article in front of me that I am shocked to learn that I believe. Let me make sure. A New York City mother died at a local hospital after going in for what was meant to be a simple procedure, according to her family and their attorney. A 27-year-old, Rosemary Abreu, she went to Lincoln Hospital in the Bronx to have a cyst removed in her left thigh, and she ended up going into cardiac arrest and being pronounced dead the next day. She had a 2-year-old, a 9-year-old, and she is survived by her mother, aside from her children. Can you believe this? Going into the doctors for a simple, isn't that crazy? Like, I mean,
that's bananas.
Oh my God. I mean, you just don't know when your day is really gonna be here, is gonna knock on your door. It's like, how do you just go into the hospital to have a cyst removed, and then you go into cardiac arrest? Unsanitary.
Yeah.
Her first mistake was doing it in the Bronx. I mean, I'm from the Bronx. I could say that. Like why? Do not go to the. I mean, I'm not trying to say don't go to the hospital in the Bronx, but like, come on. She died.
Well, that's what you're saying is don't go to the hospital.
I mean, I guess maybe in
that's technically what you're
subtly
saying that don't go to the hospital. Don't go to the hospital in the Bronx.
I'm saying this. In which case, though, I mean, but you wouldn't think something like this would happen, for something so simple, you know?
Right.
I don't know. Have you ever had any surgeries?
My family. No. Oh yeah, I had my jaw broken twice, man.
Oh my God. What?
Twice. Yeah.
Fighting? Bad boy. What you gonna do?
The first one was attempted robbery. They weren't able to get anything, and Southside Jamaica, Queens, and the second one was like Lower East Side fighting, and they pretty much the person, like, you know, my first was attempted robbery, so the guy dislocated the jaw that I had from the first time. So you know, I can't. The doctor was like, yo, you cannot get your blood taken third time. That's it if you get it. So I try to avoid fights now. You know, I pretty much run the other way. I really fight. So.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
I don't run the other way. You guys look like.
Yeah, you fight. You put them up. I'm proud of you. Despite the fact that your jaw was broken.
Yeah, it's fight, man. Yeah. The person, the female that I was talking about, that her pictures got exposed, supposedly is Demi Lovato.
Oh, I should have known, actually.
Yeah, but I just found out today. When you heard about it? You heard that her news came out?
That she relapsed?
No, that's when I couldn't think of her name before. I was saying, you know,
right. But what was the issue?
She did relapse. Right. Well, the whole issue is today they said that nude photos of her were released. Somebody hacked into her Snapchat.
Nudes. Oh, damn. Yeah, you see? Yeah. Didn't she learn from Jennifer Lawrence's mistake?
Well, I was trying to look for those fucking nudes today and shit, but I couldn't find them.
I cannot.
I'm like, when I read the headline, I was
Can
like,
I get a one time?
Yeah, one time.
Looking for Demi Lovato nudes on the internet. Can I get a one time?
Yeah. I was trying to see if I could find that shit, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, let me see if I can find them. I'm on it.
Yeah, exactly. You probably have better luck, man. Girls,
can I get a one time for Louisa looking for
females
nudes?
are able to find shit, the hard shit, though. The hard nudity type shit, females can always find the hard. Guys, we can never find it, you know. So I'm like looking all over Pornhub, all the fucking sites. I want to get no names. They're not finding no sex.
No, it's true. It's really crazy. And I've had, because of the podcast that I do, when people reach out to me, I have quite a few guys asking me to send them nude photos. And I'm like, number one, show me money. And number two, no, like, I'm not going to sit here. Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, you want me, they're like, oh, how much you want? Yo, deadass, this is a conversation.
See,
this is a conversation I had.
No.
Show me money.
This is where you messed up. You should say, okay, yeah, show me money, and then you're supposed to say, you know, well, my price is over $5. You know, you're supposed to give them a figure.
Oh, but listen,
no. You're supposed to say no. It's supposed to be a figure.
So this is what happened, right? So I've never sold nudes before, let alone taken them for strangers. Okay, but let's entertain the fact. Let me just sit here and entertain the fact that I would do this because, you know, for the right price, why not? But I'm just saying that, you know, the tea really is, it comes in like, so I said to this one guy, I said, so well, what do you want? He goes, well, how about like a topless photo? And I was like, okay, what would you want to pay for something like that? He's like, how about $10 for a topless photo? And I was like, what? I was like, you think I'm a low level bitch? I'm like, first off, if I'm gonna be selling you a topless photo, it's not gonna be for no $10. It's gonna be like $100, and you get no face. I'm not showing you my face.
Amateur. You're an amateur. You don't leave open ended. Yeah, you don't leave open ended.
No, I was curious.
You're not a great negotiator. You're not a great negotiator. Oh, a guy be like, oh, come on, let me hit it. And you be like, oh, okay, how much you want? Like I said, $1. You're like,
$1.
Let me think about it.
I didn't take the $10 offer. Get the hell out of here.
Oh my gosh, Louise,
listen,
you just a bad negotiator. You need to go to negotiation.
I'm not negotiating. Listen,
I would not want you as my negotiator if it was a
oh my God, shut up.
I would be just as good as dead. I would be just as good as dead.
Oh, please. Listen, first off, there was nothing to negotiate. I was just curious what someone else would be willing to pay. And clearly, this dude thought he could get away with $10. And I was like, try adding a couple zeros to that. And then also...
John, can I get the womp, womp, womp?
Oh, please. Listen, at the end of the day, this dude is still without topless photos of me. And also, I would never give them out with my face. Like Demi Lovato on Snapchat. Listen, how can we even tell that it's her? You know what I mean? If you don't have your face in it, you could deny it.
The article I read also explained that as well. And I was like, well, let me first find it, and then I could tell you.
Yeah, right.
Let me first find. I need to first find it to see the freak. I need to see what the fuck is going on here, man. I need to see what the fuck is going on here. You know, first before we can even, you know, I can definitely tell you if it's her. You know.
Well,
you know, I could try to tell you. I don't know.
Apparently, I think it was a third party that somehow hacked it and then said to other people, join this Discord server for my nudes. Or, I guess that's what it read on her Snapchat. And then the link offered followers a chance to see more images. And so after that,
so wait, are they saying it's fake or is it real?
No, it's so the third party hacked a way to, you know, for other people to leak the nudes. So basically, like they, I guess, programmed something that said click here to see more images, and then it worked, you know, because that's the whole point of hacking it.
All right, I'm not getting a virus on my phone or my computer. Is there nudes that you can see or not nudes that you can see? That's one point. That's all I need to know. Can you download the freaking nudes? Can you see the nudes? I'm not trying to say the link.
God.
You know what I mean?
Too invested. But listen,
that's all I need to know. I'm not trying to download a link and this, that, and the third. And do
in case you need to ask all of these, you know, these questions that you have, the alleged hackers are known as the Chuckling Squad. How fitting. So just Google the Chuckling Squad and how you could contact them for the images, and I'm sure they'd charge you, I don't know, $1,000. Then you could see all the nudes you want.
Oh, man.
It's really something to be a computer hacker in this day and age, you know?
Oh, man. I mean, it's a life full of your dreams. I mean, you can just hack people's accounts and...
Your dreams, dude. You're over here trying to fucking Google search.
You know what I mean? It's a life that you've always wanted without getting caught.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Yeah, man. All right. Hey, so, what else is happening, man?
You know what?
Anything else? Anybody?
I think this is as good as it gets. Hacked nudes of Demi Lovato, you trying to search for them and failing miserably. A Bronx woman dying because of a cyst in her left eye. I think we got the news covered.
No, Luis, we forgot also. Luis was also.
Oh yeah, my Maxim thing.
Prostituting for soliciting for sex, I guess. Well, solicitation.
The fuck are you talking about? Prostitute? Do not be putting no fake news out there about me.
You definitely solicited. I mean, you definitely said, "Well, how much are you going to pay for this shit?"
Listen,
you definitely said that.
This is not prostitution. Yeah. My vagina is closed. Okay.
Okay, but you did ask the stranger that you don't know, that you don't know at all. You know,
I'm curious. I'm curious how much they would pay because I need to get a ballpark figure. You know.
Yeah, but you never said that.
Too.
Yeah, and you notice in the story, you never said that you directly said no.
Right.
You just said okay. You just like left it.
I was just curious.
It makes me wonder, like, okay, exactly how far you were really willing to go. Exactly. Oh man, Luis.
I know.
All right, man. That's it, man. Episode 10, great show. We had the lovely Nique at Nite, YouTuber, content creator. That was great. Can I get another one time for that? And the year's going quick, guys, man. Yo, this year it's October, which is going quick, and we just got like a few more episodes before the end of the year. And everybody's been known to discuss the resolution, right? Like, what's your resolution? John, what's your resolution? You got any resolution for 2020? And the 2020?
I know. I don't have any resolutions. I don't have any revelations. I don't have any epiphanies. I have nothing. I'm chilling, right? I have nothing. I'm hanging out. I'm trying to like build. Oh yeah, I'll be building a Patreon. So for all those people out there who wanna I don't know, just subscribe to my life and help me support me getting naked.
No, the Patreon is good for podcasting because somebody was saying that we should be doing that to get funds. Connect. All right, so you guys, come on. I think we need to really start. We're going to be expanding. I got something lined up, but I think we should go into that page because Patreon. I'm seeing a lot of podcasters attached to that. That's something that we should probably be looking into. You think? I'll look into it. See what's going on. But people donate money though, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of work. You got to really you have to really, you really have to commit to it because people are subscribing to you.
Well, maybe we should, I was telling John, and then maybe we should also be putting visuals on like when we just us three, there's no visuals, but like when we interview guests on the Skype, maybe put the visuals to us too. What do you guys think about that? Maybe that'll be something that we need to be doing. Like when we have the guests, then we have visuals, right? But when it's just us three with no visuals, what do you think about that, Luis? Or we could just all have the camera on Luis the whole time and just really get viewers.
Yeah, right.
Really, you know what I mean? Maybe just do that and just see how that really goes. All right, guys, this is the cast. Sayonara, episode 10. I'm Sammy B, Luisa L, John Dunn, the cast. Thank you and God bless.